I designed it on the back of a fag packet. I used post-it note regarding this cabinet. Well, we've progressed a little way now. I've actually done a little bit of the monkey work while I wasn't live. So you know, paint everything else up, what have you. Some of it needs sanding back, some of it don't. The door over there that we made the other day is sitting there ready to take the glass, but that's also going to need sanding up. Might put some more paint on it as well. But that ain't my worry at the moment. I've got to think about the carcass. So what I'm going to do is, oh hang on, what's going over here? Turn that off. We're going to make the carcass. So I'm going to do some housings for some joints. There's going to be a shelf midway, and I'm going to do a housing in both the end panels to take the shelf, but also I'm going to do a housing in the top two corners, a bit like if you're in the UK, if you know what a door lining is, and you basically create a little housing for your door, your styles to sit into the head of the door lining. It's a bit like that, except there'll be no horns. It'll literally be right on the corners. We'll have to work out, obviously, how much material I need to, or have the lengths of my material to cope with the size of the finished size, because it's got to go between two walls. So I need to get it right, because it's literally fitting right in a space which is like 111 centimetres in width. So just over a metre and 4.5 inches or something. 3 foot. What's I don't know what that bit now, like 3 foot, 4.5 inches. Oh, anyway, whatever it is. So we have to do the joints in the corners, 4 corners, and then the housing for the shelf in the middle. There's no back in this unit because it's going up against the wall. I'm also going to be putting a socket in there as well, a double socket in there for what's that? Water pick. That's what it's called. Water pick tooth thingy. It's in the shower room. Yeah. We've got a basin in there, and it's going above the basin. So I'm going to put the. Yes, it's not like in the UK. You can you can put sockets near basins in the UK, in France. It's a bit odd, I know. So there's water pick will be in there, and also Caroline's electric toothbrush and stuff like that. And then obviously the doors will be shut on there. And on the right hand side, we're going to have the door with the mirror in it, which is really a bit odd at the moment, because I keep going into that room and I keep looking at no, the mirror's gone because it's down here. So anyway, no further ado, let's get our material together. I've got to remember which piece is which now. What one's that? That one that's the bottom. So that's going to be the bottom. These are actually going to be what the doors hang on. I don't know if I'm going to do a mid-rail yet or not. Depends what the balance looks like. The time I got the door on the right, if it ends up looking silly like a little narrow door on the left, that's going to look really odd. I might do away with a mid-rail. I won't not bother. And then we've got this one here, which is the top. And it'll be going that way up because you won't see the top. Where it is, you're not going to see it. So that's the inside. And this is the inside, outside of the bottom. You then have the two sides, which are literally these. You're not going to see that side there because it's going to be against the wall. It's just better pallets, you know. Now it's sort of like all like that. So sort of like a lime wash sort of look. That's what I was trying to go for. And those two narrow bits that I had a second ago, what do I do with those? Oh, they're here. Effectively, they'll be fixed on the leading edge. So that go against the wall. And then that'll be trimmed with a piece like that against the wall. But I don't actually want to fix that yet, because what I'll end up doing is actually fixing the cabinet into the space, and the two hanging pieces will be scribed into the wall just in case the walls aren't true. I don't want to have to put the filler behind it up against the wall or what have you. I want to make sure this fits neatly against the wall, making sure that's plumb on the hung side, so the door sort of shut on itself and stuff like that. And then that side here will be scribed to the wall. So I won't actually be fitting these yet until the actual cabinet's on the wall. But I just need to make it put all together as a kit. That's the idea, isn't it? A sort of a plan. I'm just winging it, really. You know. So really, I think the first step is to work out my sizings, because everything is dictated by the mirror. So the mirror that we've took off the wall and reused, which is going to go into the door, or the right hand side door. So that's the door that's going to be accommodating the mirror, which we did the other day. And then we know it already fits because we've already tried it. So that's the mirror, and that's going in there. And that'll be on the right hand side of the cabinet. Now, like I said before, this is not something I normally do. I normally work with oak, and chestnut, and cherry, and stuff like that. So, working with old pallets is a bit of an eye-opener for me. There's so many other things you've got to think about, such as holes where the old nails were, and stuff like that. You know, it's just, you just got to, for starting, you've got to think a little bit outside the box, instead of having this kind of indoctrinated attitude towards what is correct and what isn't. Yeah. Which is kind of what it's like when you move to France and you end up having to work on old French houses and you realise nothing is true, nothing's straight, you know, and it's a bit of an eye-opener. Especially my old house. Well, everything's moved as well, hasn't it, over the years? So first of all, I think what I'll do first is quickly just sand. There's a couple of panels there need sand, and this one's one. I don't know if you can see that doesn't actually put all the dust in the air with air sander. It just leaves it flat because it doesn't. See, with the electric sanders, you've got fans in to cool the motor down and keep the motor clean from dust. But we don't have that in there. So once I'm all happy that it's all together and I haven't got to do any more whitewashing. Not greenwashing, no, whitewashing. And I can then put a coat of lacquer on it. Hello, Wally. My little doggie's in there now. Little Wally dog. Hello, Wally. You're really greedy at the moment. Hope you ain't got worms. Right, that'll do. And I've done that one there, done those two there. So we can get this prepped up. Once we've got the sizes right, I can work everything else off it. Right. These have got to be exactly the same length. That one's going to be going to the wall. That's to the wall. If I put the actual... that's a good idea. So if I put face to face, that one, is that to the wall or is that to the wall? That's to the wall. Doesn't actually matter, actually. That one don't matter. Right, let's say that's going to be the... No, that's going to be leading edge. That's going to be leading edge, right? So they're going to be up against each other. Yeah, they're going to be up against each other. So I've got to true the ends up and work out my housings. Do you know what? It makes more sense to cut these to length, do my housings on the ends of these, and then I can work out the lengths of these ones, these verticals. That's what I'm going to do. So I need to, cut them through. I'm just going to do that on the radial arm saw over here because it's quick and easy, and I'm lazy. Where is it? There it is. Right. Hello, Mad Dog 33. Hope you're well. Warrior's probably missing Caroline. Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly. He does speak to her every day. Yeah. Or she tries to speak to him and she gets ignored. The dogs are having very nice food at the moment. I keep baking them stuff. So they're quite happy about the food situation, I think. So we're going to cut these identical length, and they've got to be 111 centimetres. Yeah, leave it all that. So let's trim it to length first. I'm going to cut these housings by hand, I think, for interest's sake. So I'm flipped it over, so I'm always working off the same face, the same edge. Otherwise, the ends could end up being out of true. Where is my pencils there? Stop staring at me, Wally. Give me the big eyes again, aren't you? Give me the big eyes. So, yeah, turn that off because I don't want to chop things off. 111, there we go. And the other one's going to be exactly the same size as that. Hopefully. So let's trim one to length. Now what you can't worry too much about is if there's any little twists and stuff like that. You're going to have to accommodate that as you put it together. Otherwise, you're hard to nothing. Because at the end of the day, we couldn't true the wood up because it's pallet wood. So it is what it is. It's what it's what you end up with. I'll just force it into shape. That's what I do. But I'm not too worried. Not in the least. Just see where I've actually managed to miss with the brush, but that don't matter. Let's not worry. Like I say, don't worry. Be happy. Do 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 do. Now there's all sorts of pallets. Some of the really old pallets were chemically treated. Modern pallets are not. They're steam. Like I think it's high temperature or some sort of treatment they go through to kill anything that might be hiding in the wood. Right, let's make sure that's all good there. A little bit more. That's good. Right on there. Oh, the shelf is now dry as well. Oh, got the fire on at the moment. I might have to whack a load of stuff in there. Let's put a load of that in there. What sawdust? Have I got any sawdust to put in that fire? Oh, I have a little bit. That'll slow it down a bit. Oh, and what's in there? That'll do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. A bit chilly day today. It's glues and paints and stuff that you want to dry, so you've got to get a little bit of humidity out of the air. Do you like my wood burner? Made out of old wheels, car wheels, and a gas bowl. Right, so let's bring those back over here. So that's the top and bottom. That's what that is. So they're two sides. This is the top and the bottom. And so if I cut the channels in these, this is the bottom. So that would be the top with the bottom. And this one is that's the top. Yeah, that's the top. So let's put it the way around. So that's the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the channels in those ones, and we'll do that. So let's do it. I'm going to do it by hand. I could do it on the razor arm saw quite easily. But I fancy doing it by hand. Why the hell not? So we have options. We want a square. Any beany more. That one. Use that one. No, I'll use that one. That's long enough. Use me up one of my old Rabone squares. Now I don't need to measure. No, why would you measure? There's no need to measure half the time. Do you realise most cabinet makers didn't use rules? No. They used like measuring sticks and stuff like that. Oh, quite, they've got a name of them now. There's all different sorts. It's like a sliding, like a pinch stick. I think they call it a pinch stick. And you put it in between like two fixed spaces, and you put the wedge in, and that's it. That's your fixed length. You know, that's the length you've got to be. There wasn't like, oh, it's like so many inches or so many millimeters. No. No. I find a scrap of wood. Oh, I find a scrap. I just put them on the fire, didn't I? About right, isn't it? Oh, there's a piece. That'll do. Because that's going to set my... Is it a right piece or is it not? I don't know if that is a piece of that. There must be another piece around there somewhere. La 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 la. I'm looking. I reckon that piece will probably do. Right, really want a little scrap because it makes it a lot easier to mark the ends where the channels are going to go in. So I suppose I could just cut it off the end there, that'll do. That's the same width, yeah, that'll do it. That teaches me chugging it straight in the fire. Right, so that's the thickness, well, it's the same material, so that's the thickness of the material I'm going to use. So all I'm actually going to do is use my square, okay, because I want everything to be square, obviously, and using that as my measure. So I'll literally go up, that's the same material as the ends, you see, and I'll literally go up to the end here, like so, and then scribe down that with my marking knife, which happens to be over here. It'd be really handy if I had it in my hand at the time, wouldn't it? And I'll just do that on each corner. You could use a marking gauge if you like, you know, do exactly the same with every single one. Now this marking knife is one that I made, it's the Kiradashi, and it works a treat. Oh, it's going to skew off in the end, that's fine. And there's one that's got the bevel on one side. And what you do want to do is make sure you always work off the same face, just in case there's like tape on your boards. That will do. Hold it tight, man, hold it tight. That's there, that's good. You can run a pencil line down if it's not very clear, but it's pretty clear actually because you've got the actual white paint and makes the cut lines show up. And I'm going to do the same on the other one. So there's other ways you could joint it, you know. The thing is, you see, I've got a blackboard. I'll show you a blackboard. That's a really good. How about a big green chalk? Yeah. Like suppository. There it is. Anyway, so basically what we're doing is, I'll use my right hand. I might do a better job of that. All right. So on the side, okay. Sorry, on the top. This is the top, the long pieces that we're doing at the moment. All right, like so. And what I'm going to do is cut a little way in there like that. Okay. And what that's going to do is accommodate the sides. Yeah? So the reason why I'm doing those first is because I don't know what the total length has got to be of the sides yet until I've cut those. I know you could work it out, but why worry? Why don't you just go with the flow and actually just work with what you've got and do it the easiest way around? So I'm cutting that one first. So I'm going to cut those in both ends, and that will accommodate the sides, or the ends. And the point of this, as you see, is if we've got the door, right, it's hung here, for instance, argument's sake, right, so the door is hung there, like that, you've got your hinges in there, argument's sake, like that. The load is down here, isn't it, right? So effectively, that door is going to be putting strain here. Because it's pulling down there and then pulling that way at the same time. Now, if you just put some screws in there, or pocket screws, that's what people seem to like, if you just put screws in there, all that strain is just on the screws. And the screws are going to move inside their little holes, you know. And not straight away, it'll take time, but, you know, and you end up with a really gappy, untidy looking joint here. That butt joint will be awful. And especially if you're working with something like pallet wood, which is not exactly the best quality timber, is it? So it makes sense to chop that in, and that basically a stop point there, and then that cannot go that way. Just keeps it neater for longer, and also the joints look neater, providing you cut them right, obviously. That's a giant chalk. Do you like my giant chalk? Right. Well, we'll do the same on this one. You know, you've got to be happy, you know. If you're not happy, you're miserable. Plain and simple. There's too much horrible stuff going on in the world. Be happy. One of the reasons I like my woodwork, really, because it allows me to escape a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You can sort of think about other stuff, you know, instead of stressing about all the horrible stuff. You could do something positive, make something. Now, the reason why I'm not using the pencil is because you've got the thickness of the lead and what have you, and you won't be dead on your line, right on your mark, will you? Whereas this, because it's got it's sharpened on only one edge, yeah. There's video on how I made this on the channel, and it allows you to get that hard up against your rule, like so, and then you're right on your mark. Now, some people use pencils and stuff like that. Some people I know they actually carve the pencil away, so it is hard up against the edge. But you still got the thickness of the lead, because it's obviously from there to there, the point is going to get wider as you're using the pencil along the side of your rule, because you're wearing the end out and it's getting fatter as you use it. So it's not the most accurate. I do like marking knives. Some people just use craft knives, but they just tend to be ground on both faces. I suppose it's up to you what you do, really. If you do use it on, I know that Paul Sellers, he just uses like a craft knife, but what he does, he puts it at an angle, so he gets fairly close to that edge. And I'm not going to argue with Paul Sellers, because if you know him already, he's another YouTuber. Used to teach woodworking in the United States, actually. But he's a really nice geezer, really nice bloke. Not like me, I'm horrible. All right, shall I use a hand saw? I think so. I am going to use oh my god, that needs sharpening. Ooh, not ideal. But I'm going to use it anyway. All right. Now you could just use. You could just put it in the device. But all I'm going to do is use a hold fast, which is over. Hang on, I'm missing one. Where's my other hold fast gone? I can see one. What? Where's one of them? Is it on the bench? Oh, well, you're using it over there. That's where it is. You could use a bench hook or something like that, if you like a pair of bench hooks. That would work well. Now, do you know what I hadn't done? I hadn't set the depth. Okay. Now, you could use a stop. Ooh, easiest way is to. So I'm trying not to use measurements if I can. So if I use a piece of wood, and that could be a bit like a little marking gauge itself up against the edge, because it don't need to be very deep. Don't want it to be too deep. So you can split the edge of the wood. You just want it just like a little channel, and that's probably about right. Don't need to be any deeper than that. So I'll use that. I'll use a pencil though, because I'm going to sand it anyway. Sand the lead a little bit. Make it nice and pointy. It's got to be pointy, okay? Just like, did you know that the Elon Musk made his rockets pointy because that film with Sacha Baron, the guy from the Borat geezer, with the film called The Dictator, and that's why Elon Musk put a point on made his rockets pointy. So he says. Oh, crikey. So when you start this, you'll just do, if you're used to it, 3 strokes backwards like so, and literally just once you've got your start, you can then bring the back down to get the full width of your board. Another way you can do it, you can give yourself a little helping hand. Something like this, which I made. It's got a magnet on the end. So if you're worrying about you're doing this on the end, if you set that end and you've got that set end started, you can literally use that. So you eye it up. You put your saw down to where you want it to go. Stick that on there like so. And now I've got a guide. Oh my God, that makes so much more sense. So much easier. You know, it's not just people just starting out or what have you. You're not that confident with a handsaw. Or people who have got, I don't know, maybe got a little bit of Parkinson's setting on, shaky hands and stuff like that. You don't want to give up just yet. To me, this makes perfect sense. All this is, all right, is a little block of oak. All right, I've got a couple of little screws in there, just poking through just a little bit at the bottom. And they help grip. So when I put it down onto the board, if it's something that doesn't matter, you wouldn't do it on Formica or something like that, would you? But if you just want to grip the board, you put it on. And then you've got this magnet here, just neodymium magnet, which is screwed into the end and set into the end. And that then becomes the bearing surface for the actual saw itself. It just works, you know. Hey, Benny Kershaw, I hope you're well. A mad monk. What is probably missing Caroline, I know. Do. Right, a paring chisel makes sense to me. Eeny, meeny, miny, what I do. Yes, this is an old Stormont. No, this is braids. I think it's braids. So let's see if I can see it. I've kind of polished it so much I've worn it off. No, it's a braids castile. Paring chisel. Now, if you look at this paring chisel, right, it's actually slightly bent, but it doesn't matter. It's only bent from there to there, so you don't use that far anyway. It's all about control. That's why you've got the length. It's not just about being able to reach right across your halving joints and stuff like that. It's because you need that control. So, but can you see how thin that is on the edge of that, on the sides, there and there? Now, if I show you a modern paring chisel by a well-known, high-quality make, a Diamic, this one here, which is a good tool. But look how thick that is on the edges. You're talking, these are expensive. And look how thick that is. That's just wrong. You know? Oh, that one. That's like, yeah, that's just this. Although it's still a good tool. And yeah, you can get a bit more welly than this one because the whole tool is a lot thicker. Maybe that's its point. But if you really want to get into the corners and stuff when you're going across your workpiece, this one's way better. Such a nice tool to use. It's really thin. It's meant to be. It's a paring chisel. Oh, this was a Stormont. Yeah, there's another old Stormont paring chisel. That one was braids. This one's a Stormont. Cast steel again. But you can see here, look, it's a lot thinner on those edges. Like I say, it's supposed to be. It's a paring chisel. So I could use that to go across there, like so. Well, as I could do, you could. La da 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 da. There's other tools you can use. You can use a rebate plane, but you'd have to put a piece of wood on the end there. I might have to do that as well. The other way you do it is spin this around, so you've got your end grain paring over the end there. Grab some, just give it a bit more control. I don't palm my chisels anymore. I've learnt my lesson. So I don't use my hands. So yeah, you can just do that. Or you could do a handsaw down the end. Oh, it'll bring you a bit closer, really, don't it? I'm doing this sort of stuff. Let's do that. La da 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 da. Google's not been nice. Right, there's either that or people still at work. Again. Right, that'll do. So anyway, so what we're going to do is just pair these ends. So I'm not going to do all this lark where you hit the ends of your chisel there. No, don't do that. That's a massive mistake. Or use something. You need a bashy device, not a metal hammer. Like I say, you could do this on the raised arm saw. If you've got one, you could do this on a table saw with a sledge. Sled. Sleds. So you've got a little ball nose plane if you want to use, if you've got one. Like this little one here. The finger's sharp. You've got to be careful when you come off the end though, because you can damage the cord, the end as it comes off. La da 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 da. So it'll come from both directions. Right, so I don't need to go too deep. It's just there as a stop. Little bullnose plane's quite good for that, little shoulder plane, because it just allows you to flatten the bottom quite nicely. It speeds things up a bit. Right, so the idea is, I know I've got a couple of lengths yet, so they're not true or anything. That's going to sit in there like so. So effectively, if there's any load in that direction, it can't go anywhere. Whereas if you buttered it like so, you'd be relying on your screws, which could split the ends of your wood as well. It's not pretty. Take a bit more off that way. Now, I'm not too critical. I'm not being critical. If that one's end up a little deeper than this end, it doesn't matter, because all we do is just cut the boards to suit, the ends to suit, whatever it ends up as. It's like, years ago when people used to do drawer fronts and stuff like that, they didn't used to measure them. No, they'd literally just get their bit of wood, and they'll say, there's the hole where the drawer is, stick it in the hole and put the mark on it, then cut it. There's none of this tape measuring because you create an anomaly. So you've put something else in the way. Or, there's something else to go wrong. All right, so that one done. Do that one. We've got the channel down the middle to do as well. We'll do that as well. Got little tunes in my head. I don't know why. Well, I've got little tunes in my head. Let's just make it a little bit tall. There you go. Chop me head off. Off with his head. I've got to use that again because it just makes so much sense. I'll cut the strokes back. Like so. Then I'm going to use this because it works. Line up to where I want it to go. Which is there. Yeah, back there. Hold that down. And there you go. And let's make a start. Do you know what? I wish I thought about this earlier. It saved a lot of grief. It just works. Wait. Is that about right? I think it's about right. I'm not that critical about it. Not be that precious. How are we doing there? That's about right. Once obviously you've made your cut, you can carry on. You could use that chisel. Not for that job, you don't need a paring chisel for that. You could use any chisel. Let's use this one for change. Lucky the grain's going in a favourable direction. Because obviously if the grain was going down and not up that way, you'd end up going too deep probably at that point. I just noticed something. There's actually a little nail in there still. So do you know what I should have done? Put the old metal detector on it. That's what I should have done, and I didn't. was it, silly? I ain't hit it, so I just see it in there. I just noticed it. See if we can help it out. I'll see a little bit. Oh, hardly anything. A little sliver. A tiny bit of nail, like a little metal splinter anymore in there, is there? No. That's good. I'll carry on using this now if I want. Housing joints with pallet wood. That's new, isn't it? People just make their nails in normally, or pocket screws. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not that bothered about pocket screws, but I think they got a place. But I see people making things like pocket screws, and there's so many blooming holes everywhere. You know, I don't matter if I blow that end out, it's against the wall. There's so many holes you've got to make good. This is ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly, and also wood shrinks, so you can end up with a loose joint with a pocket screw. It's not ideal. Still got the place, just not for everything. And the other thing is about pride, you know, having a little bit of pride in what you're doing. So, you know, I'm making a little cabinet out of crappy old wood. So I'm just trying to, you know, I don't know, give it a little bit of TLC, a bit of care, you know, as though you do care, you know what I mean? Even though it's shitty old timber, you know. Like I say, normally I work with hardwoods, not blooming pallet wood. That looks good. You didn't much need a joint. You see, if you've got a butt joint like that, if there's any move, any twist and what have the old pallet wood, it's all going to be gappy. You know, if you look at that, that isn't straight. You know, it's not flush as that because it's just been butted up at the moment. If even doing that and I push that in there, you can't see it because you create the little housing. So that one's done, apart from the channel down the middle. Oh shit! I don't want to do that just yet until I've got the other one ready, because what I'll do is match. Oh no, the channel's not going in these. Phew. It's because I just realised the channel for the shelf is going in the ends. Yeah, I don't want a vertical shelf, everything will fall off. I carry on doing what I'm doing. Blooming, good I thought of that. I was having a senior moment there. Oh dear, that had been a catastrophe. People watching. Oh dear. What can the matter be? Come on, YouTube. Come on, spread it. Spread the word. Right. Over here we go. Oh, don't need that. That's already marked. So we can do exactly the same thing again. I can mark these ends if I want to. I'll have to pull it down. There's a bit of a twist in that board. So I get it on flat on the surface there and do the same on that one. Flat on the surface there. Like I say, I'm not too bothered, to be honest. This needs sharpening and setting. Well, the set's okay. But definitely needs a sharpening. Maybe that will be a live stream. I've also got actually a dovetail saw over there that I've took all the teeth off. I need to recut the saw completely. So maybe that'll be a live stream. That does take a little while to do. The saw's quite old now, so it ain't a huge amount of meat on it either. I'll show you. Ow! Right, where is it? Where is it? Well, there's a little dovetail saw here. And it's it's a nice little thing. Which I've cleaned all up, but I haven't got no teeth. I've literally ground all the teeth off. So I need to grind them, cut them in with the file, and then set the saw, you know. But I'm not, it was 22 TPI. I'm not doing 22 TPI because for start, I don't need a 22 TPI. So I'm probably going to do it around 18 TPI. And also I don't want to make it a nightmare to flip and resharpen. And 18 TPI is enough for most dovetails. Unless you do little tiny ones, but then I'll probably end up using, I don't know, a small Japanese saw for that, you know. So, a couple the back strokes first, like so. And then we'll do what we did last time, because it works. Cool, I think everyone should have one of these. So simple. I have a shop. I make sell them on the shop, don't I? Like some on Etsy even. Magnetic saw guides. You can do dovetail ones, can you? If you do your tails and what are you? Tails and pins. It just works. Now you could go deeper, but when I actually screw all this together, because we will be using screws, the problem is if you're not careful, you're taking too much meat out of here, and they've got nothing for the head to bite, to pull up against. And all you're end up doing is just having you're pulling the heads right through. And I don't want to be doing that because you won't have enough meat there. So because the wood's only 18mm thick, that's right. Make sure there's no quite splintering. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, it's moved. It's moved. Try again. Okay, you've got to be careful. You've got to get the screw on it as well, because you... Ah, I see what's wrong. The screw needs tightening up. This is a little Axminster. There's a copy of a Stanley... I think it's number 90. Yeah, I think it's a copy of a Stanley number 90. All nose plane. And they're good little tools. One there, and that one there's got to be tightened as well. Ah, that's really loose, that's why. That's why it's moving. Now I've probably gone a little bit aggressive. So let's move that back a little bit. The thing with these, you have to loosen the screw a little bit so you can retract or tighten the blade. And tighten up again. Ah, that's better. Now this is an Axminster, like I say, it's like an Axminster one, Axminster Rider. I'll splint it a little bit, but I don't matter. I suppose it was bound to happen. That is okay, that's good. And the other end. So once I've done both of these, I'll be able to work out the length of my ends. I haven't actually scheduled any videos today, I just remembered. It's a bit silly, isn't it? Yeah, with YouTube, you only get like 3 notifications a day, which surprises me really that they clearly haven't sent out many notifications or done much for this video. Is that... Oh, there's nothing in it, that's good. Just double check there's no fragments of nails. It's the only thing with pallets, isn't it? You know, you're going to get nails. You know, you do your best to remove them, obviously. A metal detector works well, and you can get little hand metal detectors as where I thought I had that hanging up there somewhere. Well, I thought I did. I've got my big metal detector. Oh, you can see at the back of that. Yeah, the thing at the back of that's a metal detector. And then I've got a hand one somewhere which I can't see. Oh, it's over here. Oh, I'm not going to move that. Got things in front of the door. It's behind the door. Yeah, we've got a hand like a round ring, like a donut with a handle on it. They're brilliant now because it's like the things they do at the airports and scan your bits and stuff. Quite annoying with you too, because you know you sort of like if not sharing or sending that many notifications, you sort of ask yourself what's the point, and you think to yourself, well, I might as well just make a video instead. So you want to show, show as many people as possible, don't you? Oh, I suppose what my goal is, I want more people to give it a go, you know? Have a go at something, you know, instead of stressing about daily life and what have you. You know, woodworking is just a nice way to, release your stresses and get a cut occasionally by a sharp thing. Anyway, we've done our little housings there, as you see, okay? Simple. You simple tools. You know, you could get away with just a chisel and a saw and something to bash it with. So I'll need that again in a minute, probably. So what we need to do now is work out the length. I'll tell you what we'll do first, though. I'm going to grab something to blow the dust away. All right. La 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 la. I better check the chat, don't I? Has anything happened in the chat? Hello, Wayne Andrews. So when did you? So when did you leave Norfolk, boy? Yeah, with web toes and all that. It was back in 2009. I came here early June because we bought the house and I started moving stuff over. The house was not habitable. There was a cow in the kitchen. Cuisine here in France, and oh crikey, me and the dear wife, when Caroline finally came out, she had to finish her time at school. She got handed a notice in because she worked in school, and the primary school in Salhouse. That's the top, that's the bottom, and anyway, she cooked. But I came over with my son Darren to start with. And then we started renovating the house. And it was a long, drawn-out process because we had to strip everything. It was disgusting. The amount of rat carcasses, like dehydrated, like they've been run over a road roller. You know, they're just like flat rat carcasses. We don't just see them like there's like rat carcasses falling on your head. Lovely. No, that was disgusting. It was absolutely gross. But we did it, and the house it's not 100% finished yet. It's getting close. Still loads to do. We've got other plans as well. See, I'm in the attached barn at the moment. I'll show you. It's probably the easiest way, isn't it? Let me just grab it and I'll just show you our little home. And if I told you we paid 50,000 for this place, when you had 10 grand left, because we got really hit in that last recession, the housing crash and all that. And we had 10 grand up. If we had the house up for sale, we would have had a lot more money, but we'd have to drop the price because we'd already committed, you see, to this place. And we thought, we'll just have to make it work. Anyway, it is an attached barn. That is the workshop, which you see we've got to finish all the pointing as yet. This area here, the roof on there is all coming off. And we're going to put a floor right through from the main house. It's already halfway through. Through there, and then I'm going to make a load of windows and stuff on the end there, and that'll be like a veranda on that bit there. Eventually, it's all to do with the money though. We ain't got much at all. Actually, we've got nothing. And that's our little house. It's basically two houses that were knocked into one, and this is our view. So yeah, it looks over into the valley. It screws all the wood everywhere. but you kind of would expect that, I suppose. I keep picking bits of wood up from all sorts of places. And that is one of the fields that we're doing. We're doing a rewilding here. So we're planting loads of trees. You should better see them, I imagine. There's loads of trees there we're planting, gone right down into the valley over there. We're planting up 2 hectares of our land. That's our plan. And then also over there as well, you can just see the little opening there. We've got another paddock over there, or a wally. Another field for which we're going to plant the trees as well. And put arbours in and stuff like that, you see, for our rewilding project. Hello, Wally, what are you shaking? What are you shaking for? So, yeah, this is our little humble abode anyway, so we've got loads to do still. But you know what ends up happening is the work takes over because you've got to earn some money. And then the whole project sort of slows down, so we've still got loads to do. But the house itself is pretty good, it's not bad at all. There you go. So yeah, I mean, we didn't pay a lot of money. There's still some real good bargains to be had, but obviously Brexit changed things somewhat in the UK. We don't get a lot of people coming out in fresh blood anymore, which really damaged my business at big time. So we've got the door. So the door, because the door's dictated by the glass and the cabinet's dictated by the door. Because the plan is not to spend money. So the door's 72. That's easy. It's dead 72. So we'll put that over there. So I know I've got to allow for, because this is basically going across the top and the bottom, so I've got to allow for this thickness here that's left. So I'll do it on each side, although I could probably just right, so that can go on there. So that's basically going to go in there like that. I've got to true the ends up first, and then I'll have to work out the thickness. It's easy to do. All you've got to do, right, is put it back to back on each face. Make sure the right way round, which is that's at the top. So that's the top, and that is going to be the bottom. Right, so basically put it back to back like so. Right, and I'm actually going to measure these. They might not be the same because I haven't been too careful regarding the depth of these, have I? I just gone with the flow. Ideally, they all be the same. But as long as the cabinet ends up being the right size, that's all I care about. As long as it works. So I'm just using my vernier. You can just tape measure if you like. And basically on this side here, I need to remove for 27 millimeters. Try and find another writing device, as in a pencil and a pad. So the right hand side, because that is what it is, as I'm looking at it now, I'll put A on there, an A. So I know that A, I'll write down 27 mil. What's up, my little fella? You want another treat, do you, fella? Huh? Come here, you. Oh, I've got to go. Yeah, I've got a treat. Munchy, 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 I know. Do you like them, do you? Do you like them? You'll get a drink. That looks like it was hard to... Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. That's very nice. I know where you've been licking. Oh, there you go, you. Right, so there's 27 mil on the right-hand side. It's really nice if the left side, this side here, is also 27 millimeters. Well, it's not far off. It's 26 millimeters. So there's a millimeter difference between the two ends. So B, so I'm going to say the opposite side is B, is 26 millimeters. So I just got to remember that. So I know I want 72 centimeters less. The one on one side is going to be less 27 millimeters, and the one on the other side is going to be less 26 millimeters. And that's the top, and that's the bottom. It's going to be like that. So that's going to be A. Should this be A then? Could this be A? Don't know the reason why not. the same anyway, so I'll make that A. I don't need to mark the other one because I know the other one's going to be B. So, so that's going to be A. So this is all going to go together. So I'll mark this one. Well, I've got to trim the end first and then mark it to length and then cut it at the saw. We'll go to the radial arm saw for that. Before we stick it together, mustn't forget, I've got to do the channeling for the shelf. I don't want little nodules. I don't want little dowels and stuff like that to rest my shelf on. I don't want any of that. Like, I want it to be part of the carcass thing. So that's A. Just got to true the end up first. I'm going to work off that face because that's the true face. Double check my measurements here. This isn't far off. It's almost 72 anyway. So I'm going to have to trim one end off and make sure it's just about right. There. I can't take too much off. So 72 less 26. This will take measure. What's my pocket minute ago? Oh yes, there it is. Right. 72 less 20. Oh, need to be from there. 72 less 26. Was 26 or 27? A was 27, wasn't it? Yeah, 27. 27, which is there. Let's have another look. 27. Spot on. So that's that one. La da 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 da. That one's going to be 20, less 26. Right, so 226. That's 2 more. Oh, let's make a comparison. Let's make a comparison. Well, that makes sense. Look at that again. Oh, it's a good idea to check and double check. Oh, that could have been dangerous. Nearly made a right big mess. There it is. This one's slightly shorter than the other one. So we need to work out where the channel's going to go for the shelf, which provides the support for the shelf. Dee, 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 dee. Da, 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 da. Right. So what's going to end up happening is A, which is that one. It's that way around. There's no finish on the front lead edge of this because it's going to be there's another piece of wood to go on top of it. So it doesn't matter. And I do have something to make it a little bit easier for setting out. I have these corner clamps. So if I use a couple of these on one end, it'll make the other end a little bit easier to work with. Now this has got to be flush with this edge. Don't remember that these balls are just fractionally narrower for some reason. But it doesn't matter. It's going up against the wall, and it's going to be tiled inside. So yeah, it's not really, it doesn't make any difference. This just helps me hold it all together. So I can work exactly where the what's called there, the shelf is going to be. That's it. We'll do one on that side. These are Stanley corner clamps. They're actually quite good. They're not bad at all. Not old Stanley, they're quite new. I think you can still get them. But they are actually quite decent. But a bit of an overkill, actually, to be fair, to corner clamp. Right, that one's going to go on there. And this way I can work out exactly where the shelf is. Because remember, I've actually made it that those shoulders that I cut out for that housing is they're not necessarily exactly the same in the depth here. So if I want the shelf to be perfectly level, I need to sort of like mock it together so I can actually get my measurements in the right place. Otherwise, there's a possibility I could end up well, to make the hash of it, but you know, and the one end of the shelf being a millimetre higher than the other end, and then things roll off. Right, so that's what I've just done that just for the purpose. I don't need to put the other end on, so I've just got that on there, and the same on the other end. I know you can't see it, but it's turn it around, you can see it then. There you go. On that end as well, just for the purpose of marking from there to wherever it needs to be for the middle of the shelf. So I can get the shelf housing in the right place. Now, I know I need at least 300 millimetres to the bottom of the shelf because the thing we're going to be putting in there needs at least 300 mil. And we can get, well, it's 69. Oh, crikey, it's my favourite number. Oh, yeah. Name of the days. Yeah, well, it's 27 in inches. Go whether that was closest. Is that cheating? So what's that? It's 13 and a half to the centre. Of the shelf. I don't mind if it's a little bit higher or a little bit lower. I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about it one end being higher than the other. So that's 13 and a half. I've got another dog in there now. Blimey. Go on, Bear, there you are. I've got my Sebastian in now. Boy, there you are. Ow! It's my finger! Blimey, what's he like? He took my finger off. Dogs, eh? They've got teeth. So now I've got my measurement there. I know what the thickness of the shelf is going to be because I've got my little block of wood here somewhere. Wherever I put that. Well, I don't know, but it is here somewhere. Oh, here it is. There's a little block of wood. So that's the thickness of the shelf, which is, I think, if I remember right, it's about 18 mil. Yeah, 18 mil. So as long as I'm like 9 mil lower, within reason, that'll be fine. I can eyeball that, to be fair. So that'll be the bottom. Right, so I've got the marks on that. So I can remove that. I can remove that. Put this out of the way for the moment. We just need those two. Let's get the top out of the way for the minute. Once we've done that, I can actually glue the thing together. So I end up with a carcass, and then I can then just leave that to dry then until the next stage. Well, choices for that, I could do it on I thought I would do it on the radial arm saw. Since I've done everything else by hand, let's do it by radial arm saw. These channels, and the shelf is over half. Now the shelf, ooh, it isn't 100% flat. I can see on there's a bit of a, you just look there, it's got a bit of a nasty bit to it, which isn't that great. Now, there is something we could do to compensate for that. Instead of having a full width rabbet or channel for it to slide into, what we can do is we can, well, it doesn't really matter, well, we've been a bit pedantic here probably, we can actually put a rabbet in the end of this and reduce the width of the channel in the board, so effectively you end up with a narrower piece, but it'll end up being it'll be flatter, or we just force it in and that'll probably straighten itself up, to be fair. Might just do that actually. I think I'm being a bit pedantic. I'm being pedantic. What do you think of these ones? Because it's been sanded a few times. It's just under 18 mil. So it's about, yeah. I'm going to go for, I'm going to do this on the basis of 17 millimeters because I can always take a little bit off the shelf. That is where I've got to go up to. So where's my square? And where's the leading edge? Where is my leading edge? That is the leading edge. That was the leading edge, isn't it? My marking knife, which is hard. And we're going to be going 17 mil instead of 18. We'll cut these on the radial arm saw. Now, I don't need to scribe it all by long, to be fair. I could just literally just part my the radial arm saw. I don't need to scribe it in. I just mark here, can't I? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17. Just there. And then that's just going to be the same on both ends. So it's going to be the same with this one. So with the bases, that's basically what's going to be taken out. And the same with this one. Like so. Do. Right. 17 mil. I only want to put I don't want to go too deep with the channel. Maybe a little bit deeper than what I did on the ends. Or do I? I'm going to go in about 1/4 inch probably. About 5 or 6 mil. So we'll take it over to the radial arm saw and we'll adjust the radial arm saw to suit. Raise the blade basically. And then cut those housings. Do. And then I can cut the shelf to length. I'll do that after I've glued the ends up. So, it's not that critical. I'll just unwound it and raise the blade. So you see the blade is now no longer at the bottom. I might need to come down a bit. I'm too high on the downward stroke a little bit. Whoa, I don't want to go that deep. I do want to make it weak. Yeah, that'll do it. Bring it over. Let's do that one first. You've got to make sure you're putting pressure down so it's flat on the surface. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a sloped channel. Well, the saw's pretty square. It's bang on my original marks. That's good news. grab that shelf, see if it slots in. That is pretty darn good. Yeah, that's good. Let's do the other one. Something I just realised actually doesn't actually matter. You're going to be covering them up with the hinge pieces. What I should have done with these should have been stopped, because the shelf that I've actually made it a little bit narrower because I didn't want the shelf to be hit by the door every time it's shut. So you set the shelf back a little bit. I've done that, but I didn't actually. What I should have done, it doesn't matter in this case, but what I should have done actually, I could have done with the router or by hand. I should have cut that channel so it stopped, and then cut back a little bit and notched the end of the shelf out so it rode over a little bit. And that's basically what you do if you're doing house treads on stairs. But it doesn't matter in this case actually at all, because the actual cover piece is going to be covered and you're going to see it. That's what I should have done, but I didn't. That's what happens when you don't have a plan. Yeah. That's what happens when you wing it. Oh, lovely. Lovely jubbly. All right, there we come. Don't forget to boot the old like button. So now we can start a glue up, we can. Right. Right, there we go. Clear some space. So I can glue and screw the corners up. So that's the left-hand side. That's going to be the right-hand side. You'll see what I mean by that shelf in a minute. And that is the top. That's the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to just pre-drill these corners. And I could argue, I know, you could just, because of where it is, you could put, you're not going to see any of the joints. So what you could do is you could actually put some dowels in if you want, just drill them straight from the ends and just drive them in and just cut them off. Because you're not going to see it, because in this case, you see, that's why that's raw and that's why it's going up against the wall. So any additional fixing you put in here, you're not going to see, because it's going against the wall. That'd be an overkill. You see, in this case, you see, it's in a fixed space. As long as it's tight in its fixed space, it can't go anywhere anyway, can it? That's what I'm kidding myself. Yeah, I'm telling myself. Got to be really careful with this, because this wood is, well, it's not great, is it? It's just pallet wood. So when I put those screws in, I don't want to split the end of the wood. So I don't go too deep. Ooh. I'll start that one again. You could go a little bit deep and plug them if you want, but I'm not going to worry because you're not going to see it. So that is going to go there. corner clamps if I wanted to. It's going to be glued and screwed into there, sort of flush on that edge. It actually makes sense to do it the wrong way round. So I'm going to turn that around and put it on the other end like so. It's not the back face I want flush, is it? It's the front face. So once we get, yeah, just you see in a minute, don't worry. So once we get one end in here, you could use corner clamps. Well, I'm going to pretend I ain't got any. All right, it don't matter if it ain't flush at the back edge because it's going against the wall, and then this is all going to be tiled inside. Right, so I'll get some glue. I've got to start another bottle. This one's feeling a little bit on the low side. This is Yuri Glue's wood stick, and it's especially a D3. I've got a D4 over there, but this is inside, so it doesn't really need to be a D4. Yeah, it's getting very low. Hello, Jamie, I hope you're well. And gingers, they're hungry. They're always blooming hungry. Did you see what I fed them earlier? They had roasted courgette, chicken, dog food, pasta. They had right on medley, and they woofed it down. What a great pile they had. And Wally left some. Smash and Dora didn't. They eat every blooming thing. But I did give Wally way too much. And he still asks for treats. Maybe you need a worming tablet. I don't think he does though. He wasn't that long ago they had one. We worm them quite regularly. We had to worm them ourselves regularly as well. Because when we started doing that, ever since, same stuff basically, but we started doing it ever since we had animals. I mean, we had cattle, so it's quite easy for us, because we had cattle, it's quite easy for the humans to get the worms. You don't want the worms? No. It's horrible. So we used to buy like 100 tablets at a time. Exactly the same. The stuff you have for worms for dogs is the same as the stuff you have for worms for people. Lovely, isn't it? Bet you want to know that. Right. What screws should I use? Don't need that big. Right. Long draw. Right, they're too small, they're too big. 40s will do. Where are they? Are they the ones? Oh, they're the ones. Why are they hiding all the way up there? We're in end grain, so these are 40s, 50s might be better. I don't want to split the ends. Oh, let's have a look, see what happens. If not, try to find some 50s. No, that's good. That is fine. Let's get that in there. We'll put some clamps on there as well. So I'll have to just pull it all to make sure it dries square. Ugh. So I'm not using, no, I'm pulsing the drill, so that way I can stop in good time if I feel, oh crikey, it's going to go in too far. If you just like wind it in and use the I don't even know it's from now. I never use these things, right? I never use that, right? The torque settings, because if you're driving the screw into a piece of wood, there's no telling from one piece of wood to the next if it's softer or what have you, and pulling the head in further. It's about a right old mess. So I don't use it. I just do it by hand. I just, you know, I feel it, baby. Yeah, feel it. And I should have glued the other end before. Oh, crikey. That's what I should have done. But I didn't. Let's get rid of that. I think we've got a lump in this bolt. That's what it is. There's a lump block on the nozzle. There you go. Could use Cascamite, but there's no need for this job. Okay, to there. Da, 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 da. Right, so it's going to put there. Oh, that's flush. Good, good, good. Let's pull that one up. So I just pulse it, as you can probably tell. So just got to do that end. So put some glue on first before I get carried away. And then we can cut the shelf to length and slide that in. If I want to, I could slide a couple of extra bits of wood in just to cover that, fill those slots in. Might do that, we'll see. But I should have done stopped, is what I should have done. It's a bit annoying, but there you go. I did help and hire about having the gap behind the mid shelf. So if you wanted to put the appliance on the top shelf, you can, but I've decided not to. Because what happening, tiny stuff that Caroline puts on there, that and it just sliding, I'll keep sliding down the back. And end up rolling off and end up on the floor or something. Something silly. That's what usually happens. Usually silly stuff happens. Right, what way around is that? Is that A? Was it A? Yeah, that's A. So, oh, hang on, that means it goes that way. I had it the wrong way round. There you go, that way round. Oh, have I got a splinter? I got a splinter! Blimey. That's the thing about pallet projects, you're going to get splinters. But don't worry about it, you'll survive. Looks like a planter. Pallet was good for making planters as well, I suppose. I don't know how long it'd last though. You've got to line it with something, treat it, wouldn't you? Okay, that's all pulled two there now. So I can flip it the right way around now. Now, I don't remember me saying we're tiling the inside. Once it's on the wall, I'm going to tile the inside. I've got the tiles, so when I get a chance, I'll tile it. Right, so it's going to... Oh no! Do you know what? I made a booby. I'm just going to flip this one around. And it is important that I turn it around because the middle shelf might not be in the right place. I made a booby. Show you. That shelf there, I put the wrong way around. I need to flip it around. And why it's important is because of this. Because of that thing. So, anyway. No biggie. We'll have to hold it up though to get that flush on the top edge. Not a huge problem. I hope. That's okay. Not underneath. What a very silly thing to do. Now I'm going to be fitting this with, well, I've got a couple of options actually. Because between a fixed space, obviously I can screw it within the fixed space on the end rail, on the end panels. But if it wasn't, you're going to need to think about some kind of hanging arrangement. I would probably do a cleat at the top edge in the inside or the outside, whatever's best for your situation, and then screw into that. That would also help keep the unit square as well. When I say a cleat, a piece of strip of wood, I'll show you, that'll be the easiest way. I can demonstrate. You could even do a dovetail cleat, so you can lift it off easy if you wanted to. So that is okay. It's right way round now. That's a good idea. That's the right way round, and I've got it upside down. Oh, that way round. There you go. That's better. So what I'm going to do, I will be putting a clamp here and a clamp there and a clamp across there as well, just to hold these corners in tight, so the glue can come up nice and tight. But before I do that, I'm going to put the shelf in. Now I'm going to measure the shelf on the basis of what it is on. Of course, I had to explain this. I'm going to measure the shelf on the basis of from here to there and not in the middle, just in case there's a bend. And I'm going to end up just going with the bend. I don't really want to do that. So bring it back over here. And I was talking about a cleat, fitting a cleat. And basically what I mean by that is, if you're going to be installing something like this, it's not between two fixed spaces like my situation is, have a piece of wood about this sort of size and install that here, right, either the bottom or the top, or wherever's best for you. I would say the top, this is actually the bottom, like that, and then screw for that into the wall. And that will also help hold your corners together as well and stop it from crabbing. But I don't need to do that because I'm between two fixed spaces. And once it's tiled, the tiling itself, because it's going to be within the fixed square, is also going to help hold it square anyway, so there's no need. Got a splinter. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out my shelf from here and not from there. So I'm going to mark it in its full length in situ. Using a square from there to there. This is actually quite important that you do it this way, all right? Otherwise, you could pull the whole thing out of square. You know, at the ends, you know, if the ends are bowing out a little bit, you want to pull them in. You don't want to, you know, just keep it as it is, unless you do. That might be your thing. I don't know. There's a bow-legged cabinet. Right. So I've marked the full length of the shelf, and all I'm going to do is just slide these up here like so, line up my mark I just put on in line with the inside of the actual cabinet itself, and eyeball this rebate here, this channel here, okay, or rebate. So I put that there like so, eyeball that to there, and I know the outside cut is where I'll cut, the outside mark, the bigger mark is where I'll cut it to length. I'll do the same on the other end. I need that tracking camera. I need a camera that follows me. Unless I'm picking my nose, I don't want that. No. Right, there to there. Oh, crud, I had several people today. Oh, is that Jack Black? In the comments and videos. I get that so much. It's quite funny. Right. Back over, let's use the radio arm saw. Could cut it by hand. Oh! It's too high because I set it to the channel, didn't I? So I need to bring it down. And I just listen to the saw blade as it's spinning. And when I hear that starts doing that, back one, just to get it off the ground. And now I should be able to cut through here. Oh, dear me. Ew, excuse me. deep. I'll have to go from that direction. So that should slide in to there. Should do. Hope so. Oh, you know, I ain't done with this though. I haven't sanded it yet. Let's just sand that before I start gluing it into place. Bit nightmare. That's why we did all the sanding and painting bit before I actually put it together, because it'd be an absolute nightmare to. I've got to find the fucking sanding now. What have I done with it? Why is it that I lose everything? Is it because I'm in a complete mess at the moment? It might be what we might know. Why is that? I had it earlier. Got that sander. Got that one there. I'm looking for a little red Autobest sander. Oh, I see it. Air sander. That's there. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I don't know what the battery's doing, but you know, we'll see. How long have I been on for? Hour and a half. I should be right. Let's do the edge. That is at the bottom and that's top. Let me say there, what I have to do is I didn't have enough long bits without taking the pallet apart, so I just joined it. I put a little biscuit in there as well for the shelf. I thought it didn't really matter. So that will slide in there. I'm going to wax some glue in there. That's going to go in there nicely. You can't see. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll put you a bit further away again. Put you back over here. You're quite far away. There you go. We'll clean that edge up there a bit. It is moist. I'm getting a bit sick and tired of putting things down. Oh, it's on the floor. I found it there. I keep losing things. Yeah, a bit furry there. Right. I need to glue the channel. The easiest way is lift it up. Now, if this was chipboard or quality board or something like that, you would have to put some support down the middle of the shelf. Can't see, can you? So I do need a tracking camera, don't I? Otherwise, you're particularly so far away. I suppose the other thing is I'm doing it in vertical format, which clearly is a little bit different. I don't know if I'm going to do that, Gail. I don't know. Sometimes we do the vertical format, you get loads of people from the short shelf on YouTube, but this doesn't seem to be the case today. Never mind. It's just nice if you've got a lot more people, then quite frankly, you're gonna, whether people find it entertaining or not, I don't know. But it'd be quite nice for if you're trying to show things and teach people stuff. Obviously, you want more people, don't you? It's just to show people, there's no reason why they can't make things for themselves or just give it a go. It's simple. I know I've used 3 machines here and there, but you don't need to. It'll all be done with hand tools quite easily. So the wood is free. So I'll do an old pallet wood. Yeah, that's not the nicest timber, is it? Of course it isn't. I don't expect it to be. But it's free. And it will look cool. Once it's all done and I've cleaned it all up my hair and done all the lacquering, it's going to look really good. I'm pretty confident. Got to have the vision. Got to have the vision, you know. You'll see the mistake I made in a minute. I should have stopped housing. That's what I should have done. But I didn't. I forgot. I forgot the shelf was not. So I made the shelf yesterday, actually. the shelf is going all the way down to the bottom. And as you can see, I've got an exposed. It don't matter too much. I don't think you can see it, to be honest. I think the thing is because I know, and that's what's frustrating me about it, because I know. Put it on there like that. Because I know it's just going to annoy me. So I might have to put something, I don't know. See, that's going to go, that one of those are going to go on there like so. You see, you're not going to, well, actually, you're not going to get close enough to see right behind there. So it doesn't, because the door, and you've got a basin in front of you, so you're not going to, you can't actually get close enough. And the other one goes on the other side, like so. So the idea is one of these is going to be supporting the door, and the other one will be supporting the other door on the other side. So we'll clamp this up in a second. So this is going to go on there like there. And the reason why I didn't want, I'm not going to put mid-rail in, because it's going to look really out of balance. It's going to look out of balance as it is, because I had to go with the size of the door, you see, and the size of the mirror. You're either going to go all the hog, isn't you, or actually you might put it in to make it deliberate. Because the thing is, you see, I've been dictated to by the size of the mirror, because that's the mirror that I got. I wasn't about to go and buy a mirror. So this door here, which is going to have the mirror next to the one above the base, and that one's not going to have a mirror in it. I haven't made that yet, obviously. Currently, it might look a bit. There again, would it? Because you can have all these vertical boards probably on this door here, and then this vertical there. You might not really pay much attention to it, to be honest. I don't think it's going to matter. I've got to decide whether or not I'm going to put another one of these down the middle between the two doors, or not. A narrow one, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to actually. I think it's going to be better without it. So like I said, I'm just going with the flow. Just winging it. Right, so what I need to do now is wax some screws in that shelf. Let's put these out of the way. I'll put that with the mirror now. Down here. That is flush to the back edge there. That's a little bit higher on that one. Why isn't that going down? That's strange. That's strange. That glue wouldn't have started biting already. No chance. That's done it. That's there. That's good. Good. Just make some screws in the end there, just to eyeball it up. Now I'll whack some clamps on it. I'm just using 40mm or inch half 8s. It seems to be biting quite nicely into the end grain, so that's all right. It's the glue that should be doing the job. That back before I drop on the floor and bust the draw bit. That's what usually happens. Just going to make a couple of screws in here. That's really annoying me. That really is annoying me. I should have done a stops channel. I wasn't thinking. I suppose if you do a plan and what have you, and then you follow a plan, you're more likely to, or less likely to make mistakes. I think the problem is I made the shelf, knocked the shelf up last night, and I forgot that I made it narrow. Despite excuse, I'm sticking to it. If you think I'm lying, write it in the comments down below. Right, here we go. So now we've got to clamp and square this up. Now, what's quite a good idea to do sometimes is once you make sure you've got it square, whether I do this or not, I don't know, we'll see, is to tap a couple of diagonals on, bits of wood on the back, just to hold it true while it's going off. But I'm not going to worry. When I say that, I mean a couple of pieces of wood like this, just do that across the corners, a couple of, on the back, not the front obviously, and yeah, just with a pin nailer, 8 gauge or something like that, so you can pull them out easy. Just hold it square as it goes off. I'm just going to make sure it is square, which it's not. It's not square. So let's check it's the same on that one. Yep, so it's the same thing going on. It's trapezoid, but let's not fret. So what I need to do is pull that corner to that corner together a little bit. Itty bitty more. Oh, what clamp goes for that? Just use a lightweight clamp for that one, I think. Pull those corners in if it's long enough. It might be long enough, it might not. I don't think it will be actually, it's going to be too short. Yes, way too short. Let's use one of the long ones. And heavier ones. I'll do that. Or is that Revix? Is that Revix long enough? Oh, I don't know. Might be. It's going to be a case of me going through all my clamps until I finally get the right length, isn't it? So, is that long enough? No, it's not. It's going to have to be one of them sashes. Oh, that's annoying. Right, anyway, let's go for the sashes. That one there do. I forgot already which way it was now. So let's squeeze from that corner to that corner. Oh, this one's long enough. Right. Blimey. Put that one there like that. The other way you can check the squares is measuring corner to corner on each corner, and if they're both the same, you know it's square. Or you Pythagoras theorem or something stupid if you want. Which isn't really that stupid. God, we used to use that all the time when we were setting out, like for extensions and what have you. We'd use Pythagoras theorem. It's one of the most accurate ways of doing it. And then came electronics. Oh, that's there now. All right. So we'll just put it on it just needs to stay there, all right, for the moment. Or doesn't? No, it doesn't. I need to put one other. I'm not going to worry about the back edge. I'm just going to make sure that the leading edge is good. Oh, damn it, it's going to stick out over here, and I've just got to move that around. I'm going to have to check the square again in a minute. I should have done this bit first. I'll pull that too. So the glue is squeezed up on the leading edge, so it's tidy. That's better. That's better. Do I do the bottom ones as well? Might do. Let's put another one over that end. These are bar clamps, sash clamps. Designed for, well, sashes, like sash windows. God, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of work by then. I've had to make sash windows in the past, all the sash boxes and the weights and stuff. Oh, I've made the old-fashioned way with the cast weights. I also had to make them in the past with the springs to replace the cast weights. The weights are loads smoother though, loads better. The old-fashioned weights, the old sash boxes. That's good. I'm happy with that. That leading edge is good now. So how tight is that? I'll put one down the middle there, I reckon. How are we doing that for square? If I pull it out square again. No, that's still there. That's good. Looks like it's to do with. I'm being a bit pedantic, really. You don't really need to clamp it all up like this. But I'm going to, because I can. If you've got the clamps, you might as well do it, mightn't you? If you haven't, otherwise you do bits of wood and wedges. You know, basically make your own stashes up, a bit of wood with a couple of blocks on it, and a couple of tapered wedges. A couple of wedgies. Works quite well. There's times when I've actually done that where I've had to make do. Well, I need to get that one behind there. At the moment I'm trying to squeeze up in the wrong place. I need to get the a block behind there and then squeeze up. That end's okay. And then should squeeze that one up. And it has. Good, 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 good. That's what they're doing over there. Does it need one? Yeah, so let's put it on. Oh, my workshop is in such a flippin' mess it is. Oh, blimey. I need my workshop theory. Should be back on Thursday. She's visiting the kids. Oh, crikey, my son-in-law, clever chappy, Nigerian lad, he does all this, he breaks computer systems basically, software, he does all this testing, and the company he was doing the work, subcontracting to, has just lost the contract. He's really struggling to find more work that's in his field. And you'd think everything that's going on in the UK at the moment, they're saying about digital skills and stuff like that, they're quite dire need for. You'd think you'd find it easy, wouldn't you? I do wonder sometimes as to do though. I don't think the UK's in a very good place at the moment. Right, here we go. Oh, I need to. Oh dear. I'll actually pull that out a little bit. Let's try again. What way has it got to go? That way. Right. Pull that out true again. So I've got this end. Oh my god, yes I have. Oh my giddy aunt. So I need another clamp. Oh great, I'm getting caught up in all these clamps now. It could just be a shelf unit like that, couldn't it? Alright, I've got another one there. This is when you're thankful for all the clamps. Thank the Lord for all the clamps. Or something like that. I'm sure we can make an ABBA song out of that, can't we? No? Hello, Wally, you're back again. What, again? Oh, how's that doing now? So once the glue's gone off, what are you? Oh, you all right, Wally? You coughing? I think I mentioned it before, but he's got a problem. He's actually a bit more on that one. He has a heart murmur and he gets water on the lung. So he has to have special tablets and stuff. But occasionally he coughs and he has to cough up the water, you see. He's getting old. Right, let's have a look. Oh, a little bit too much now. Back a bit. That's good there. And that is very good there. I'm happy. I'm happy. So the best thing I can do with that is leave that alone now until tomorrow, where I can declamp, unclamp Might get really wound up about these little extra little slots on the end here. And then I'll end up filling them up now, maybe a bit of wood, because I'm a bit annoyed with myself over that. I could even make it a bit fancy. Anyway, so getting caught in the clamp. There's anything about clamps, you get caught in your pockets as you walk past. All the clamp handles, you know, not the fork handles. No, all fork handles. No, the clamp handles. So I know. Crikey, there, look at them two. Yeah, praise Daddy. Can I have some more? Blimey, what are they like, eh? So, where does this leave us? Oh, let's just check that. Hello, FT Videography. Well, that's a bit of a ring to it, isn't it? How do you get that white finish while having the grain brown? Okay, I'll explain what I did. It's very, very simple. All I used was the cheapest white acrylic paint I could find here in France. Go on. That's the cheapest tips. This cost about €7 a tin. It's really cheap. It's actually not bad either. It's all right. And I just slapped on a coat of that onto it. First, let it dry, obviously, because it'd be wet. And then just use a sander with a 120 grit pad in it, and just light sanding. I sanded it first to get rid of all the highs and all the splinters and stuff, because it's pallet wood, right? It's just pallet wood. It's literally, it's this shit. Right. That is what I made it out of. So you give it a good sanding to start with, but not too aggressive, because you want to retain some of the undulations, but you don't want it to run your hands over and get loads of splinters, you know. Then you just cake the paint on, being very reasonably generous with it, and it'll shrink back anyway. It's water-based, yeah. And then just give it a light sanding, and just to give you that relief, give you that kind of lime wash sort of finish. It's really simple. It's all I've done. And then once I've got it all together, I've done all the bits, components before putting it together, and painted and sanded back, because I put the sander into all these places. Yeah, you know, you want to get all your boards prepared and painted first and rubbed back. But the final coat I'm going to put on there is going to be a coat of lacquer, just a bit more resilience. And because it's going to have bottles and all sorts of stuff on it, you can imagine what the bottom's going to look like. They just stain all the wood. So I'll put a coat of lacquer on there to protect it. And yeah, that's all we did. It's very simple, you know. And you sand it back until you got highs. Being it's pine, you've got the high resin content where the grain is, and that retains it, because you get those dark marks. And yeah, if I show you like that, yeah, so it's sort of like a lime wash finish. But it's not, it's acrylic paint. It's just cheap ass acrylic paint. It's nothing fancy. It's really easy. You can use chalk paints if you wanted to, but anything with that is they get a bit grubby. Lunchtime, back in an hour. Okay, gingers. Oh dear. Right, anyway, it's time for me. Oh, Stefan, hope well. What wood? That's just pine. Just pallet wood. Literally pallet wood. It's nothing fancy. I've had some nice stuff out of pallets. I've got some hardwood and stuff out of there. Outside, which is quite good. It's refreshing to hear that you still have the accent. Says Wayne. Something homely about listening to you chatter away in the barn. Oh, thank you, mate. Yeah, it's nice to know. Rhubarb and custard. Yes, you got my tune. That's what I was humming earlier. I was singing to myself. Blimey, you're sharp. I didn't think anyone's going to get that. I even forgot I was singing it. Right. Cheers, buddy. There we go. Everything's looking good. Nice one. Okay, well, it's time for me to go. I'm going to try and deal with the 3 dogs that I've got there. They're multiplying, by the way. There's one, which is Wally. That one there's Pandora. And then I've got Sebastian. And Pandora, believe it or not, even though she's all grey, is the youngest. She's the baby. But she has an accident and busted her jaw up, and then shortly after she went grey. Didn't you go? Eh? Hey, didn't you? They're all rescues, that they are. And they're all lovely. Yeah, and all they want is food. Constantly. Don't you? Constantly. People think I don't feed you. That's what they're going to think, isn't it? Wally's face. Look at his face. His eyes are popping out of his head. Me, me, me. Anyway, toodaloo, and thanks, Monk, Mad Monk, much appreciated. Toodaloo. Oh, don't forget, boot the like button, you haven't done already. Need all the help I can get.